Center, 5993 Westside Saginaw Road, Bay City.
Service Master by Fusen, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration experts. Did you know a home affected by hoarding can be dangerous and unhealthy? Dramatic action is required to address the problem and help the customer get on the road to recovery. Service Master has developed a successful cleanup service program that uses a proven process to help resolve hoarding situations, large or small. For more information on hoarding cleanup, visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 989-200-4929. Service Master by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Fly ball left field deep. Got a chance. Way back and gone. Jonathan Scope. Line drive home run. Number one. Tigers take a 1-0 lead in the first.
The Tigers play 7:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Having a good day. We're enjoying the sun. Not exactly where we'd like to be as far as temperatures go. Currently, it is 46 at the airport, 48 here at Radio Center. Midland at 47, downtown Bay City is at 46. Nobody's complaining, but it does appear as though that's about as warm as we're going to get as we go through the remainder of the day today. And then tonight, we're going to be dropping down right around the freezing mark, if actually just a little bit cooler than that. Not real bitter cold, at least early, because we will have a few clouds to contend with as we go through the afternoon. All of it because of a system which is located to the north and west of the state of Michigan. And that is going to be pushing some cooler air, some lake effect type activity as we go into the late afternoon and the early evening hours. But then we will have a look at a little bit more in the way of sun as we go into the beginning of the day tomorrow. Obviously, the big question continues to be the winds. We're dealing with some rather strong gusty winds as of right now. 40 miles per hour coming out of the southwest at the airport. The airport yesterday did record a wind gust of 60 miles per hour, and I'm sure a lot of you assumed it was going to be that strong, and it was. And overnight last night, we did get a little bit of a break, but then once again here picking up as we go through the daylight hours. And wind advisories are up all across the state, especially even in southern Michigan, where we're going to be looking at some strong gusty winds until right around 7, 8 o'clock tonight. What are we looking at as we approach and get into the weekend? Well, cooler weather. We've indicated that pretty much all week long, that it did appear as though Easter weekend was not going to be rainy. If anything, we might see a flurry or two, but hopefully not too many. And then as we moved into Sunday, Easter Sunday, that sunrise service was going to be a little chilly, and that's exactly what is going to happen. But during the day on Sunday, we are looking at mostly sunny skies, but another series of systems will be approaching, so it looks as though we'll have a damp start to next week. So what are we looking at right now? We're looking at a high temperature of about where we're at with mostly sunny skies. Clouds will be moving in as we move into the afternoon. Southwest wind will continue to be right around that 35 to 40 mile per hour category until tonight. Then tonight, with cloudy skies to start with, maybe a widely scattered sprinkle or flurry. especially in the southern half of the lower peninsula. And even in northern Michigan, they are going to be looking at in northwestern parts because of the wind. There will be some lake effect type activity going on. A low of 30. Sun will set this evening at 8:20. Rise tomorrow morning at 6:52. During the day tomorrow, sunshine to start the day, 41 is about all we're going to get out of this weather. We're looking for a low tomorrow night of 24. Clouds moving in late in the day tomorrow, but then once again clearing overnight on Saturday night. High pressure over the Dakotas and Minnesota is going to be the primary weather driver for us during the day on Easter Sunday. Sunshine, low pressure over the Dakotas, 46 is about as warm as we're going to get on Easter. A low of 32 on Sunday night. That low over the Dakotas is going to be pushing some moisture our way. So on Monday, we're going to be looking at a pretty good chance of shower activity as low pressure system from Minnesota will be moving into the western part of the Upper Peninsula and then zipping all the way over to Montreal by Tuesday morning. Low 40s for a high on Monday. We'll continue to look at clouds and chances of showers, but not nearly as great a chance on Monday night. 35 for a low. Then Tuesday, I think partly cloudy skies. Middle 40s for a high, upper 20s for a low on Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday, shower activity is going to be moving in again. We're looking at low 50s on Wednesday with a chance later in the day on Wednesday of seeing the showers move in. It'll be a wet Wednesday night with temperatures right around 48 and partly cloudy skies on Thursday, upper 50s for a high there. Now moving into next weekend, we're going to be looking at a change as far as our temperatures go. Above average on the moisture for a good part of next week, but that will be changing as well. We'll actually be moving into the above temperature forecast as we approach next weekend and through the final week of the month of April. And yes, there is a pretty good chance of seeing a significant change in our weather pattern because we're going to be looking at above average on the temperatures, below average on the moisture to take us through next weekend and into the final week of the month of April. Record high in the state is 84. That was set back in 2003. The record low of 18 was set in 1926. And a year ago, we weren't breaking any records. 47 was our high and 36 was our low. Incidentally, the record amount of snowfall on this date was set back only a few years ago, 4 years ago. 2018, we had 2.5 inches of snow. And incidentally, if you happen to miss yesterday, we had a record amount of snowfall from 3 years ago, 2019, when we had just a little bit better than 2 inches of snow on April the 14th. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Gary Kaufman standing by at Star of the West. We'll be talking to him in just a moment. But before we do all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today.
A good grower always knows the forecast, and with interest rates forecasted to rise in the near future, there's never been a better time to lock in a historically low rate on a new irrigation system at your local Zematic dealer. For a limited time, get an additional 1% interest rate discount on already low financing. and the earliest delivery dates in the industry, so your new Zematic pivot is ready to roll this spring. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Looking for a career where every day is different? Got a knack for working on farm equipment? We're looking to grow our team. Hudson Inc., your local John Deere dealer, is responsible for keeping farmers of America running. Honest, dependable, and self-reliant mechanical technicians is who we are looking for. Hudson provides continuing education, tool allowances, and benefits. If you're interested in becoming a part of the Hudson team, go online and search Hudson Inc. Careers for more information.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor. Run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. It features a hydrostatic transmission and is simple to maintain. The Kubota B-Series. It makes the hard work look easy. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
No markets today due to Good Friday and, of course, the Easter holiday. But right now, I've got Gary Kaufman on the line from Star of the West in Frankenmuth. Gary, good morning. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Terry. I'm doing all right.
Well, no markets, no trading of markets today, but you've had a pretty busy day so far.
Yeah, there's always something to do on a closed market day for sure, Terry. So it's a catch-up day, but it was overall in this past week. We had wheat was basically up for the week, so was corn, and actually beans were down just a hair for the week, but overall not a bad week.
No, not all that bad of a week. And for once, we didn't seem to have the volatility that we have been seeing over the past few weeks. Any particular reason why we hadn't seen the big swings like we have been accustomed to?
Well, I think that one of the main reasons is kind of these speculators finally got out of the market a little bit. I mean, when this Ukraine-Russia war started here, it's been 6 weeks now, and there was a lot of volatility surrounded around that, and nobody knew what the parameters were going to be as far as the Black Sea region, and Russia has been able to export wheat surprisingly during the conflict, and the other thing is we didn't really see a lot of wheat export out of the U.S. A lot of these other countries seem to be getting their wheat better than expected. Short term, it's somewhat calm, but we don't know what the long term effects are going to be yet of the whole scenario. But yeah, U.S. wheat sales again this week were down. I mean, they were not really very much desirable. I mean, we only had 3.5 million bushel of old and about 8.3 million bushel of new crops. So if you look at wheat in general, Terry, the total commitments were down. They're still down about 23% from a year ago. So, and the other thing, you look at corn. For the week here, we've scored new highs on corn for new crop corn for 5 straight days and 8 out of the past 11 days. And part of that reason was the announcement of the E15 ethanol blend for the summer here. So looking for a little bit more demand there. And, South America on the beans, we're still watching a trucker strike in Argentina. It's kind of ongoing, no solution there yet. And soybean conditions are, somewhat skeptical there as we continue through. Its weather is dry in Argentina, so those are all kind of the storylines. And like you said, Terry, the volatility has really calmed down. I mean, we're still getting some swings, but not as bad as they were. So
I know that there's still a lot of conversation about if folks are really going to adhere to their rotation. or if they're kind of go off in one direction or the other due to the prices and the price swings. I'm very curious, as far as you working with your growers, what have you seen? Have guys locked in quite a bit of their crop for this year?
Yeah, they're the growers. We always say hindsight's 2020, and of course, a lot of guys, it doesn't matter whether it was wheat, corn, or soybean contracts. Everybody knows today they started too early, but at the end of the day, when they do start contracting, hopefully they're doing at a profitable level. But as we're finding out, some of these input costs are getting a little bit crazy as far as fertilizer goes. And as you continue to look at the wires, and you look at some of the agronomy advisors are somewhat, they're still pushing corn, because corn has, we're at a 10-year high on corn right now. So it's so the market's reacted to the input cost increases. So at the end of the day, as we've seen in some of the planted acreage report, in Michigan in general, we know we're going to be up in soybean acres and down in corn acres. But at the end of the day, with Mother Nature keeping us a little wet, I know there's still a window of opportunity to get plenty of corn in. Of course, we got to get the beets planted first. But at the end of the day, some guys will have a little bit of a change in the rotations, but not very much. So
I know the report that came out indicated that, and you bring up the sugar beets, whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. But the report seemed to indicate that fewer acres were going to go into sugar beets this year, which kind of piqued my attention. I really don't know what producers would put in, other than, would it be corn or would it be soys, instead of sticking in as many acres as what they have in the past.
I think it's going to be, a lot of the rotation is going to be the availability of the availability and the cost of nitrogen. That's for sure. That'll tell the tale. I think fertilizer supplies are kind of unknown at this time. You hope you can stay ahead of the curve when the time comes, when growers get busy in the fields. And when you talk about logistics, that's going to be an important part of the equation for sure.
So where did we finish at the end of trading on the board at Star of the West yesterday, Gary?
Yesterday, we end up, cash wheat was down 18 at 10.51 on the white, 10.01 on the red. New crop was down 17 at 10.64 on the white, 10.14 on the red. Cash corn was up 6 at 7.25. New crop was down a penny at 6.80. Cash soybeans also up 6 at 16.17, and new crop was actually down a nickel, Terry, at 14.36.
Gary, have a safe and very happy holiday. Happy Easter to you, everybody at Star of the West, and your family. All right?
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Terry. Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Along with me, Jonathan Dent in studio. Jonathan, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Fantastic. If you could take a look at the screen over there, there's one quote that I'm very interested in right now, and that is the crude oil. What's the last reading we had on the crude?
Crude oil is up 2.7 at 106.95.
So it dropped down below the 100 mark for a little bit, and now it looks like it's right back up, but it doesn't seem to be affecting our price at the pump. It's actually gone down a little bit.
It has, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if I don't have a chance to say thank you very much for sitting in and engineering today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're going to hear a lot more from, I call him JD. We're gonna hear a lot more from JD over the next several weeks, and hopefully each and every one of you will get used to hearing some more reports from Jonathan as well. Right now, let's slide over to AgriLiquid, where Stephanie Zelenko is joining me this morning. Stephanie, hi, how are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Well, Stephanie, we've had kind of a prolonged period where everybody's been able to take 1, 2, and 3 breaths. But I got a funny feeling now, taking a look at that long-range forecast, it might not happen next week, but I got a funny feeling that once we roll into the last week of April, not only are they going to continue to be itchy out there, but farmers are actually going to be able to get some work done. What do you think?
Absolutely. I can't agree more. I spent a couple of weeks here traveling, and just the difference I've seen in spring coming to mid-Michigan from when I left to when I came back is very dramatic. And that's a positive sign. And as we watch that weather forecast, we're going to start getting antsy to get out and get some tillage done. I have seen a few people trying, as I drive around, trying to get a little bit of tillage work done before these rain showers came through this past week. So guys are ready, and we just need to make sure that we have everything we need to hit the field, late April when that calendar and weather says we can go.
We were talking a little bit earlier in the program about sugar beets. And then I did see somewhere where there was actually some beet acreage in. What have you heard?
I've heard the same thing. I talked to, a guy from Michigan Sugar earlier this week, and he did say a couple of guys have put a few beets in the ground. So hopefully those survive. We haven't had really, too cold of temperatures. And so, when they come up, I think they should be good to go as long as we don't get too much moisture here.
What's your read on soil temperatures right now, Stephanie?
I have not looked, but I think they're progressing well. And, we typically think, on our home farm mid, right around April 20th, we can start hitting to the field. And I think those soils are lining up for that same timeline that we should be good to go, pretty quickly here.
And again, as we go through the days, supply seems to be coming in. So by the most part, our producers, are they going to be able to get what they want, what they need?
I've been hearing mixed reviews across the board. AgroLiquid's in good supply right now that, we're comfortable where we sit. But that doesn't seem to be consistent across all the suppliers from what I've been hearing from growers. And, right now is the time to get the bare necessities in that you need to get planting done. And this kind of opens up a window for us to think of in-season applications. So it's not time to panic if you can't get all of your, say, sulfur or those micronutrients in at planting like you normally do. We do still have some window of opportunity to get those nutrients in later in the season and look at foliar side dress applications and still be able to meet that crop need without having to worry about the supply issues or even just logistics, because it may just come down to you physically being able to get the product where it needs to go.
And again, when we talk about product, we talk about specific product. Have you seen a little bit of an uptick in soil testing?
We have, as fertilizer prices go up, that's the first thing guys look at is to doing more soil testing. And that's great because then they know what bank they have. And, if you've done a good job building your soil test levels the last couple of years, this might be the environment we're in to kind of feed off that bank. It's not a long-term solution, but you could get by with that for a year and then continue to soil test just to make sure you're not causing more harm for the future.
This is probably going to be a subject you and I will talk about in the future, but cover crops. What's your feel on that right now?
I have not seen as many cover crops going out locally this past year. That's probably environmental driven. We had a really, poor fall as far as getting, field work done. A lot of wheat acres didn't even go in, especially kind of around the area that I'm at. There's very little wheat in, and that could be the same reason a lot of cover crops didn't go in. Looking at cover crops after wheat, there's still that window of opportunity and a good option to help bring some of those deep nutrients back up closer to the surface so you can provide some of that nutritional benefit for your crop.
Stephanie, have a very happy Easter to you, your family, and everybody at AgroLiquid. Have a safe one, all right?
Thank you. You too.
All right. Stephanie Zelenko with AgroLiquid. Our market report brought to you today by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline, the Great Lakes Bay Area certified ag dealer. So buy yourself a new Ram commercial truck or van for your everyday use for family, farm, and business from Schaefer and Beerline since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Market reports also brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years, 2 locations in Bay City. Also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Chuck Cervinsky joins us right after this.
Hey, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, WSGW and Fashion Square Mall are inviting you to bring out the kids and grandkids for some fun. Saturday, April 16th at Fashion Square Mall, it's our Kids World from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. 3 hours of activities and events, sponsored by Francis Ray Academy. A family-friendly day for everyone, powered by Sarah Automotive in Saginaw. Enjoy the bounce houses, brought to you by Bouncing Bellas and NBS International Airport. Easter Bunny Pictures, sponsored by Freeland Sports Zone Summer Camps. An Easter Egg Hunt, sponsored by LifeChurchMichigan.com. A stage for events, sponsored by Capoco Credit Union. With some prize giveaways, on-site vendors, and more. Something for all ages. It's our Kids World at Fashion Square Mall. Saturday, April 16th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Presented by Fashion Square Mall and WSGW. Find information online at WSGW.com.
Usually by this time of the year, a lot of folks have got work done on the lawns. Chuck Cervinsky from Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. Everything is kind of delayed so far this year. But let's talk a little bit about pre-emergent crabgrass applications.
Yeah, with this warm temperatures we had early on, and now it's cooling off, it's causing us to wonder just when we should put that on. And we really have to pay attention to the soil temperature, and we're getting there. And the moisture levels are obviously there already. About 80% of our germination is going to occur when soil temps are about 60 to 70 degrees at a depth of about 2 inches. And for pre-emergence to be effective, they need to be applied before the soil reaches that temperature range. And so far, the temperatures haven't been real conducive to warming our soil up all that much, but we're getting there. And the way it looks next week, it's going to warm up a little bit, and we might be right where we need to be as far as timing to get that on.
One thing that we had a conversation with Stephanie Zelenko at AgriLiquid, and she said the soil temperatures were all over the place. But you bring up a really good point that we do need about, 10 more degrees?
Yeah, right in there, 8 to 10 more. And if we could hit that 60-degree mark for a week straight, we'd probably be there.
Now, one indication for all of us who don't want to walk around and probe and see what the temperature is, they tell me the forsythia.
That has been an indicator that we've used for many years. When those forsythia start blooming, and it's normally around Easter time, that's time to put down the pre-emergent. And I think we're going to be close this year on that.
Okay, so as far as applications go, how many?
Normally, if you can put down one, but if you put down one already and you think you did it too early, it's not going to hurt a thing to put one down a little bit later on.
Chuck Cervinsky, happy Easter to you and Mom and Dad and everybody at Maple Hill. Take care, all right?
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. Lots more coming up. We'll be back with a market update at 12:30, so you stick around for that. But now we conclude our program with a wish of happy Easter to each and every one of you. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem.